Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
Well, with the new details they have, this should get really interesting really fast.
We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
Thinking about that, this pretty much turns the case on its head. I mean, we can infer so many different things now. I do wonder why, though, he would hide something like that.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
I was hoping you would bring that up.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
Kyoko, you just saved my entire argument. Thank you.
And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Were you looking extra close?
This is the most titillating situation!
Good! That's what he was getting at!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Except for...
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
I can't really tell if this is cockiness or he's really trying to tell us, hey, guess what? I'm not the killer.
He's off in his own little world.
As he normally is, ignoring us peasant folk.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I...
Just the smallest bit of doubt.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
Based on the evidence, that makes sense. But now we're back to square one.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
Well, yeah, but after actually hearing what he had to say...
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
Maybe that's how he's going to kill us all.
The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
A murderer does not set themselves up unless they have a really good reason.
At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you.
As if he didn't know that's where it happened.
And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy.
That one shocked a little bit of everybody.
If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Oh, thank you, teacher. You such a jerk.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Why would you mess with the crime scene, you fool? Do you want us all to die?
Are you fucking with us right now?
Yeah, what he said.
No, I am not effing with you right now.
Ah!
I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
Ouch.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
Please explain.
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
I can only assume it has something to do with Genocide Jill, but maybe there was an ulterior motive. Maybe we'll never know.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Love that stance and that point.
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
Maybe another discussion will bring up some details that we didn't think of.
They're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
Until everybody's satisfied.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Hero, you're like a lemming.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
More like a lemming. If somebody goes off the cliff, you're gonna follow.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
I'm good for it. So now we need to wonder, if Byakuya didn't do it, and we don't have a lead on who could have done it, who is it? That's going to be the fun part. Who could have done it? Well, right now it could be any of us except for Byakuya. About what? Which means they could only be a guy because the crime scene has now officially changed.
I got it!
Alright, so with this idea in our mind, let's say it could only be a guy, therefore anybody with a boy's handbook could have gotten to Chihiro. Let's go with that line of reasoning. Alright, so Leon's is broken, which means they couldn't have used it. So, along the line of thinking that it had to have been a guy, that basically cuts our suspects in half. Maybe another non-stop debate?
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man! Game over!
Yay! No! Not game over!
That was a pretty funny reference, Hero. Good on ya. Alright, I bet you can figure out what we're going to shoot. We have one truth bullet, and there was one statement that clearly matched with it. We don't have to do anything different. We don't have to change any of our truth bullets. Let's go one more time, and I think it was statement 9. And also, I gotta say, the white noise can be really silly sometimes,
All we need right now
especially
is
my aim, because
You wanna know who saw the victim?
I can't believe I just shot that statement.
The killer!
Here we go.
And-
Boom!
No, that's wrong!
Thank you, Celeste.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
You only told me. Thank you very much for that info.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
It's like she loves listening to them squirm.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
Okay, man.
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry.
As if he was meeting someone.
But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Well, at that point, there was a big secret he wanted to keep.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
That is why he was only comfortable with guys. That makes a lot of sense now.
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
Ouch. That's a really big broken trust.
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
All right, so everybody close their eyes, and the killer raise their hand. Go. Okay.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Kyoko in here for the save again.
Huh?
What does she have in mind?
You know who the killer is.
I do?
Seriously?
I do?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
I do?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of.
Okay.
Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
Who's got a good memory?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
So we'll find the solution by talking. This I gotta see.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
They had matching jackets? I don't know.
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Alright, so what Kyoko is saying is, if we can figure out something about Chihiro's missing jacket, we'll find the killer. Alright, you have my attention. Let's try to figure this out. This is going to be very interesting.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black!
I don't even have a tracksuit. 'Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Yeah, Kyoko is going to let us know the biggest hint ever. That one truth bullet we have, read it very carefully, and you'll know exactly who slipped up. Oh yeah, that was a very big mistake. In fact, let's go ahead and check those truth bullets here. Celeste mentions, it seems she was stuffing some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. And therein lies the problem. Let's go through this debate one more time and see who slipped up.
First of all, we know he was on his way to go, so next we have to... Why did he choose this... What do you mean, the specific... I got it! It matched the one the culprit...
Oh, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as...
I'm sorry, Mondo. I'm really sorry. But you shouldn't have known what color it was.